I thought I was going to make it in to see it today, but I'm scheduled for another surgery at 11 o'clock, so I don't think I'm making. I'm hoping to make it next week, but I've put some stuff together here for you, uh, and I'll explain how I got this. I had a little tangle with a pit bull, and thing today is when I lose the finger, and the middle finger is about shot. So, uh, and finally realizing I'm not going to make it in today, I decided to kind of show you where we're at here. I hope you enjoyed chapter 12 on the rights. Like I told you the other day, I hope that we could spend some time on this because it's such an important one. Um, Hope you have your field experience done. I see a lot of your papers in. Make sure you follow up on the timesheets and stuff. It looks like you've done real well on that, so congrats on that. The teacher paper is due next week. Next week looks like this. I've put that up, chapter 13 on financing and policies. This one is really politically loaded, and he really takes some shots here. And so hopefully I can come back and we can unpack some of this. As far as the project for today, it looks a little bit like this. And I've already shared this with you, but it's on the law, and I've assigned each of you a different one. And this one I put together, so kind of three areas here. First of all, obviously a link to some information, but a little description of what this topic is, and then it's kind of far-reaching. See if you can find video this time. Remember how I showed you how you can search for video in Google? So if you put video in here and some kind of image, but I'm going to ask you to make 2 pages for this to adequately do it, and that's what I did. It's made 2 pages, but I have a nice link to where it's from, explaining how this relates to school, and that's what each of these, like due process and Corey, I want it to relate to school and freedom of expression, reasonable search and seizure. All these, what does it have to do with school? In Page, I apologize, this one's a little vague. What are the legal obligations? You may have to go to the textbook, and that's why a lot of your searches, you may have to find some wordsmithing out of the textbook to put it together. And Berlin, this is, the special ed folks always have special rights. So what are they, and what can you find out about rights of learners with disabilities? Freedom of expression. I guess I have 2 of those. Continuing employment. Right to privacy. I say, Logan, this has to do with right to privacy in education. Academic freedoms. Teacher tenure. Nico, what is it? How it relates to this? And there's lots of stuff written about it. Youssef, I cited this couple of grading in school. What are the thoughts and laws about grading? The FERPA, the local parente, what does that got to do with schools? Malfeasance, misfeasance, nonfeasance, property rights in school. What property rights do you have? And do the students have? What rights to privacy do you have in school? What's your expectation of privacy, Cody? And again, grading, reasonable suspicions, and reasonable search and seizures. This has to do with a due process substantive component and a procedural. If you can explain that. Jennifer, this right out of the notes, and I want you to develop this, the ways you can lose your job. There's tons and tons and tons of court cases about how teachers lost their job. Malpractice, slander and libel in school, sexual harassment in school, gross negligence, tort liability in school. We've had this a bunch of times, Alex. Tinker versus Des Moines, what does it have to do with this? And then too, Jim, about just laws about grading. Okay, so I say it's kind of all over the place, but I wanted to give you a chance to input here and say hopefully I'll be back on Monday and for the last week, but kind of in tough shape here. I've been in the hospital a couple of days, and I think I'm going to get out today, but I don't know. And so, like I say, I got one finger here that's in pretty bad shape that hopefully I can save. I say it's about 4:30 a.m. right now, and I have surgery at 11. So, if you have any questions, email me. I'm of course connected here, and I can respond if I can. But as we wind down here, the teacher paper, the field experience, you got to get those all cleared up. The tests. A lot of you have taken the tests. There's 2 chapters that are due today. Make sure you get those those done. Okay, hopefully I'll see you Monday.